Sound quality, please be sure to speak one at a time. Speak clearly and directly into your microphone. Indicate when you are done speaking and mute your microphone when you are not speaking. If anyone is having difficulty hearing in the chambers at any time during this meeting, please raise your hand and someone will bring an audio assistance device to you. At this time, we kindly remind everyone to please silence all mobile devices.
City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Rydell.
Here.
Commissioner Wasserman.
Here.
Commissioner Brody.
Here.
Vice Mayor Raley.
Here.
Mayor Welch.
Here.
City Manager Rose.
Here.
City Attorney Pyburn.
Here.
I'd like to ask Patty Snyder if she'd please come forward and lead us in the pledge tonight.
This meeting is being conducted live with a physical quorum present. The material for today's meeting is available online at www.coconutcreek.net. Anyone wishing to appeal any decision made will need a record of the proceedings, and for such purpose may need to ensure that a verbatim recording of the proceedings is made, including the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. The archive of this meeting may be requested from the City Clerk or may be heard online at www.coconutcreek.net.
Agenda item 1 is ordinance 2024-036, and it is a second public hearing.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Coconut Creek, Florida, establishing and adopting the City of Coconut Creek's ad valorem tax operating millage rate at 6.8988 mils for the 2025 fiscal year, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Is there a motion and a second to approve agenda item 1?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Vice Mayor Raley, seconded by Commissioner Wasserman. This is the second public hearing on 2 separate ordinances. First is the City of Coconut Creek's 2024 ad valorem tax rate for the 2025 fiscal year, and second, the 2025 fiscal year budget. The public may address the City Commission and staff on the tax rate or any portion of the proposed budget. Prior to the public being given the opportunity to speak, Peter Gay Lake, our Finance and Administrative Services Director, will make a brief statement. Peter Gay.
Thank you, Mayor. As stated by the Mayor, this is the second public hearing on the City of Coconut Creek's proposed 2024 property tax rate ordinance for the 2025 fiscal year and the 2025 fiscal year operating and capital improvement budget ordinance. The first public hearing was held on September 12th. At the conclusion of that public hearing, the City Commission passed 2 ordinances on first reading. The first of these ordinances tentatively adopted an operated millage rate of 6.8988. The second ordinance tentatively adopted the proposed budget along with the changes that were made at the budget workshop held on August 7, 2024 as the city's official budget for the 2025 fiscal year. The city's tentative operating millage rate of 6.8988 represents a 14.72% increase over the rollback rate of 6.0134 computed pursuant to state law, and it also represents a 7.02% increase over the current millage rate. The rollback rate millage rate represents the rate that would generate last year's tax revenue less any allowances for new construction and improvements. Adopting a millage rate of 6.8988 is necessary to sustain service levels and is a 0.68% decrease from the 6.9463 rate that was included on the notice of proposed property taxes, which was mailed to each property owner in August. As stated at the first public hearing, development of the fiscal year 2025 budget began several months ago with planning, analysis, review, and assessment. Preparation of the fiscal year 2025 budget presented some challenges given high inflation, competing priorities, and the associated impacts on our finances and operations. Guided by community input and the City Commission directives from the budget workshops earlier this year, the fiscal year 2025 tentative budget addresses our community's needs, desires, and priorities. 3 clear priorities were identified by the Commission, which are Fire Station 113, Police Department improvements, and Main Street. The fiscal year 2025 tentative budget begins the important work of assembling the funds to complete these critical projects. In spite of these challenges, we have a balanced budget that includes a 4% wage and salary range increase for all civil service employees, administrative officers, the City Commission, and police lieutenants, sergeants, and officers, and an increase in the city's contribution from 81% to 82% for the high-deductible health plan premiums for all tiers of family coverage, and an annual $1,000 contribution to the HSA account for general employees and police lieutenants enrolled in the high-deductible medical plan. Employee-only plans will continue to be fully covered by the city. This budget focuses on addressing our community's needs, priorities, and desires in alignment with our strategic plan, taking into consideration the city's ability to sustain the cost into an uncertain economic future. The city's residents deserve and insist in quality municipal services provided in a productive and efficient manner while deriving the greatest value for dollars spent, and we believe this budget continues to do so. There's a handout available in the back relating to the city's property tax rate and fiscal year 2025 budget. Additionally, Section 200.065 of the Florida statutes requires that every taxing authority publish an advertisement which states the date and time of the second public hearing on the property tax rate and the budget. In addition, this law requires that we publish a budget summary adjacent to the notice of proposed tax increase. We complied with this law by running the ad in the September 23rd edition of the Sun Sentinel. If you desire to speak on our property tax rate or budget, please feel free to do so during the public hearing. Mayor, please declare the public hearing open.
I now declare the public hearing to be open. City Clerk Kavanaugh, is there anyone who has signed in to speak on the city's tax rate or proposed budget?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak on this item? If so, please come forward. Okay. Being that there are no further comments from the public, I'm declaring the meeting closed. Are there any questions or comments from the commission? Okay. Then City Clerk Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Rydell.
Yes.
Commissioner Wasserman.
Yes.
Commissioner Brody.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Raley.
Yes.
Mayor Welch.
Yes. Agenda item 2, ordinance 2024-037. It's a second public hearing.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Coconut Creek, Florida, adopting a budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024, and ending September 30th, 2025, determining the amount of available funds on hand and estimated revenues for said year, appropriating the funds necessary for the operation of the city for said year, authorizing continuation of a general trust fund, authorizing continuation of grants funds, authorizing continuation of local and federal law enforcement trust funds, authorizing the continuation of the Transportation Surtax Fund, authorizing reappropriation of unspent Economic Development Division funds, and authorizing reappropriation of $500,000 of fund balance reserves for E-911 dispatch services, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Is there a motion and a second to approve item number 2?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Wasserman, seconded by Vice Mayor Raley. I'll now open the public hearing. Again, City Clerk Kavanaugh, is there anyone who has signed up to speak on this item?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Is there anyone here that wishes to speak on this item? All right.
Right, so if I may, before we close the public hearing, I just have a quick statement that I need to make. So the ordinance that we just approved, the first one was on the millage rate, the ad valorem tax rate, and as approved, it sets the city's operating millage rate at 6.8 .988 mils, which represents a 14.72% increase over the rollback rate of 6.0134 computed pursuant to state law, and a 7.02% increase over the current rate of 6.4463 mils. And then this current ordinance now, which is a second ordinance, will adopt the proposed budget along with the changes that was made at the budget workshop held on August 7, 2024, as the city's adopted budget for the fiscal year 25 budget. Thank you.
Okay. The public hearing is now closed. Are there any questions from the City Commission? All right, well, seeing none, City Clerk Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Rydell,
Yes.
Commissioner Wasserman,
Yes.
Commissioner Brody,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Raely,
Yes.
Mayor Welch.
Yes. Agenda item 3 is Resolution 2024-133, a resolution adopting the capital improvement program for fiscal year 2025 through fiscal year 2029, pursuant to Section 602 of the City Charter, and it is a public hearing. Is there a motion and a second to approve agenda item 3?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Wasserman and seconded by Vice Mayor Raely.
Thank you. This resolution adopts the proposed city's 5-year capital improvement program pursuant to Section 602 of the City Charter. Fiscal year 25 projects were included and funded in the fiscal year 25 budget that was just adopted, and fiscal year 26 through fiscal year 29 projects will be assessed and funding sources fully evaluated in future years. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments from the City Commission? Okay. I'm going to open the public hearing. Again, City Clerk Kavanaugh, is there anyone who has signed up to speak on this item?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Is there anyone here that wishes to speak on this item? All right, the public hearing is now closed. Any further questions from the City Commission? City Clerk Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll on agenda item 3?
Commissioner Rydell,
Yes.
Commissioner Wasserman,
Yes.
Commissioner Brody,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Raely,
Yes.
Mayor Welch.
Yes. Agenda item 4, Resolution 2024-134, a resolution authorizing expenditures from the Community Improvement Fund for outside legal services, professional services, and association fees relating to the Main Street area. Is there a motion and a second for Agenda 4?
Move it. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Wasserman and seconded by Commissioner Brody.
Thank you. This resolution is required by city ordinance in order to spend funds from our Community Improvement Fund, which is funded by monies received through a municipal service provider agreement with the Seminole Tribe of Florida. This resolution provides for expenditures for professional and legal services related to Main Street or Seminole projects and activities, and as well as authorizes expenditure for outside legal services and association fees related to the Main Street area. Thank you.
Are there any questions from the City Commission? City Clerk Kavanaugh, are there any members of the public who signed up to speak on this item?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Is anyone present that would like to speak on this item? All right. Public hearing is closed. Are there any questions further from the Commission? City Clerk Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Rydell,
Yes.
Commissioner Wasserman,
Yes.
Commissioner Brody,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Raely,
Yes.
Mayor Welch.
Yes. Agenda item 5, Resolution 2024-150, a resolution sponsoring certain named nonprofit charitable organizations that provide services to city residents through fundraising events, city sponsorship activities, cash donations, and/or in-kind services, and formally approving City Commission solicitations on behalf of said named profitable charitable organization. Is there a motion and a second?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Vice Mayor Raely, seconded by Commissioner Wasserman.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes sponsorship of designated nonprofit charitable organizations through means of fundraising events, city sponsorship activities, cash donations, and/or in-kind services. At the same time, the City Commission also authorizes personal solicitations on behalf of individual city commissioners for the designated nonprofit charitable organizations without the need for additional reporting under the Broward County Ethics Code for those designated charitable organization referenced in this resolution. The list will be updated annually to reflect any changes made throughout the year. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments from the City Commission? City Clerk Kavanaugh, are there any members of the public who signed up to speak on this item?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Is there anyone present that would like to speak on this item? All right. Any more questions from the commission? Or any questions from the commission? All right. City Clerk Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Rydell,
Yes.
Commissioner Wasserman,
Yes.
Commissioner Brody,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Raley,
Yes.
Mayor Welch.
Yes. Do I have a motion?
Move to adjourn.
Thank you.